Welcome everybody to a new LP. I'm being all fancy, I'm actually using the capture card for once. Welcome to The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Now, if you're watching this on the day I'm uploading it, then yeah, Ocarina of Time. I said I would do this, so here it is. If you're watching it any day past, you may be wondering, and probably if you're listening now, you may be wondering, why are you uploading Twilight Princess Part 1 right after this? Well, Ocarina of Time is not my favorite Zelda game. After really good analysis, I come to say that Twilight Princess is actually my favorite. Don't get me wrong, I know Twilight Princess is basically Ocarina of Time, but on Wii. I know it's basically like that, but there's just this, like, it's probably the young boy instinct of me. There's just so many shiny objects that Twilight Princess has. Twilight Princess just does everything. Ocarina of Time definitely had a great foundation for that, but holy snap, who am I? I'm gonna be File 3, cause jeez, I wonder who hasn't been playing File 3. Anyway, we're actually gonna use our actual name. So, anyway, so yeah, I'm doing this and Twilight Princess at the same time. I'm thinking it's kind of interesting, for people watching this, watching both of these at the same time, because both of these games are quite similar, and I think it's really good to actually play both of them side by side, so you can tell, like, what the differences are.
In the vast, deep forest, hiding, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku.
I'm sorry if I mispronounce anything, but some people say Deku, I say Deku.
The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy.
Colon. Oh!
Navi, Rob, come hither. Oh, Navi, fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku tree. Dost thou sense the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces even now are rustling to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders from maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now. Find our young friend. Guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee.
And this is our, I wouldn't say our main character, but probably the character you'd be sticking around for the entire game. This is Navi, also known as the most annoying character of video game history. Up the Kokiri skirt shot there. Yeah, so, I don't understand, by the way, I'm playing this on Virtual Console. I don't have an N64, by the way. I've never owned an N64, and I've never owned any Nintendo 64 games, although I wish I did. Because playing on Virtual Console, a lot of these games, they're very fun, although the controller is not intended for the game, so... Ocarina of Time does benefit quite a bit from having the classic controller, may I just add. Because on an N64 you only have 2 shoulder buttons. And you only have A and B and the 3 C buttons. While this does make... this means that you can say X is C right and Y is C left, and I think you can either Z is C up, which means that you can basically, you know, use buttons instead of the stick, because the right stick on the classic controller does all the stuff. I'm not gonna do any of Navi's voice. You can just imagine Navi's voice. If you've never played this game, you are really missing out, because this is a really good game. Like, literally, this is the best game of all time, according to game rankings. No, it's not. Mario Galaxy is now. So yeah, Navi's our partner, and the Great Deku Tree has summoned us. So we're a boy in green. Now, I'm not going to be doing this speedrunning tactic. Also, by the way, if you're playing the 3DS version, which I recommend actually getting a 3DS version instead of this version, if you want to just have a good time with this game, because you can really tell the old niches. Like, for example, this is just a pre-rendered image, although, you know, shadow effects, that's pretty cool, but this is a pre-rendered image. You can really tell, because none of the objects actually have stuff. Also, I remember Did You Know Gaming saying that there was something, I don't know, saying that some of the hitboxes in this area aren't terribly great. But yeah, this is literally the best game of all time that's not Mario Galaxy nowadays. And while it does look kind of old...
Yahoo! Hi, Pando!
So anyway, it does look kind of old, but...
Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Pando! Wow, that's great news! I'm so happy for you! Now you're a true Kokiri Pando! Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you! It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree! I'll wait for you here! Get going! Go see the Great Deku Tree!
I'm sorry if I'm ruining any of the accents. But yeah, this is a really good game. And I'm not gonna be kind of just going, I want to get to here, then I need to get to here. I do know where to go. I've played through the game quite a couple of times. And I know generally what to do. But I will look around and stuff because I don't want to break the experience. I want to kind of show the game how someone playing for the first time would look around. So basically, you kind of notice, so I've got the C buttons there. Imagine you're playing on N64. That's the C up right then to talk to Navi. So the Great Deku Tree has summoned me. Please come with it. Yeah. It's weird because Navi doesn't do anything. L, or if you're technically playing on the... By the way, there is a GameCube version. It may be hard to find because it contained the Master Quest as well, but... Wait, hold on.
Hey you, Mr. No Fairy, what's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man! What? You've got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? This isn't funny! I don't believe it! You aren't even fully equipped yet! How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and shield ready? What? You're right, I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh.
So anyway, yeah, so Mido here is very thankful, not very thankful, he's very helpful, and he tells you exactly what the first thing you need to do is, and get a shield. Now, this is a Zelda game, so pottery is your enemy. So walk inside people's homes. Hearts is the health. There are no pots anywhere. It's kind of weird. Well, that's a pot, but you can't pick that up. Hearts is the health unit. Hearts go down to quarter. in quarter points in this game, but don't expect every enemy to deal quarter points. So you can see that there's a blue button and a green button on the screen right now, and this is actually where you're supposed to go, because... Well, I mean, you don't have to go... Actually, no! Wait a minute. You want to go... So it's like, okay, I'm going to look for a sword and a shield. Okay, what are you going to say?
Oh, a fairy finally came to you. Now you have a lot to learn. The best place to go and learn new skills is the Forest Training Center. It's on the hill just above here.
So anyway, yeah, so... It really does kind of have a good edge towards interactive storytelling, just because you kind of learn things for yourself. Thrust attacks. Oh wait. We need a sword to actually attack, even though it says attack in the corner. There on the blue button. I don't know why it says attack, because that does nothing. In Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, you can like roll into trees. I don't think Ocarina of Time actually does anything for that. That blue button is the A button. It basically is context sensitive, so most of the time you do that roll, but sometimes it's like, you know, use sign, do stuff, and it's really helpful in finding out things. The green button, that is your sword. It's always a sword. And so are those 3 C buttons there, which are the yellow buttons if you've never played on N64. C up also does the zoom in. By zoom in I mean a first person thingo, but for later weapons and stuff, you're not going to need anything. Now, this game kind of had a bit of a... It has a bit of a thingo where... And by the way, you just gotta go through here and then... I'll read the sign first. There. Visit the house of the Know-It-All Brothers to get answers to all your item-related questions. Okay. And this is the first item in the game, which will replace our green slot with... the Kokiri sword! So... A lot of people say that Zelda is an RPG, but I don't really consider it an RPG. I think it more of as an adventure game, to be honest. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. So anyway, yeah, so you hit start, and this is the menu. Those C buttons are 3 items that you can equip. On the 3DS one, you can equip 4, and the Ocarina counts as its own slot. In this game, you only have 3, and the Ocarina is used as a as an item. So... Also, by the way, on the 3DS one, boots don't count as equipment, which is actually kind of helpful, especially when you get up to the Water Temple. The Water Temple is oh, by the way, you can save anywhere you want, although you don't really come up here, but... yeah. So anyway, so you have a sword, and you can do lots of stuff with it. I don't know why they have a convenient boulder here, but who cares. The sword is... This is Kokiri sword. It's the first sword you have, and pretty much the only sword you have for the beginning of the game, really. You don't really need to... why aren't you getting in the thing? Get in the thing! I'm a little bit used to Skyward Sword, which, by the way, I think Skyward Sword is a little bit overrated in terms of its popularity. I mean, yes, it's a very good game. It's probably one of the best Zelda games, but then again, every Zelda game is like really good. You can use the sword to break bushes, and if we talk to Mr. Billboard here, cut grass with this sword. If you just swing with B, you'll cut horizontally, but if you hold Z as you swing, you cut vertically. So basically, what they do is Z targeting. So you kind of have this lock-on system. You see the arrows and stuff, where basically you can lock onto targets. Now, if you're holding Z, you do that, but if you're not holding Z... Actually, if... Can I check? I should really have set my Z targeting on to hold. So yeah, but also your sword does different attacks as you move along. You can also kill signs. I got some money from that sign. Actually, if we get enough money right now, we don't have to go into that side area that I was going into. You only need 40 rupees. So we got the sword. Now, yeah, so we can just go grab that, I guess. Okay. The Kokiri Forest is a good place because it basically gives you the training grounds. Now, Zelda is a longish game, so I'm not going to... This first part isn't going to be the most exciting thing ever. But trust me, this game does jump into the action right away. The first, you only need the sword and shield, and then you're already. Oh crap! And then you're already into the first dungeon of the game. Zelda games always consist of like a number of dungeons and stuff, or temples, or whatever. And in each, you do stuff. You know, like some games, like this game, Twilight Princess, Link to the Past. There's quite a lot of these dungeons, but for some other games like Skyward Sword and Majora's Mask and Wind Waker, I think. I've never played Wind Waker, by the way. I have a GameCube, but I got it really late in its I got a GameCube really late in its life, and I've only really got like 6 games on it. Yeah. That being said, I got both Metroid Prime, so I'm in for there. But I've never played Wind Waker, although I've seen people play it, because every Let's Player has played Wind Waker at some stage. But it's weird, because Let's Players are like, yeah, I'll play what people don't expect and stuff, and... Oh yeah, I don't have the shield yet. I got all the money, but I didn't get a shield. And then this person's like,
Hi, Bandel, look this way! Look over here with Z, and talk to me with A!
they're the same color.
Yes, that's how you use a fairy! It's so great that you finally have a fairy partner! I'll teach you how to talk to people using your fairy! When a fairy flies near a person or thing, press Z to look in that direction. If you use Z targeting, you can talk to people from a distance, like we're doing now. When you have nothing that you can target, you can press Z just to look forward. Try it!
So basically, so with Mario 64, the C buttons were used as camera buttons, but in this game, they're kind of used up, and so what they do is that they do this thing called Z targeting, where basically it doesn't really apply in rooms like this, and you can't even look forward in rooms like this.
Welcome. Blah, blah, blah.
So anyway, this is a shop. You'll find many in the game. You can buy objects. Recovery cards are kind of pointless. First of all, because 10 rupees is kind of steep just for a heart, which you can find quite easily in bushes. And considering you can only hold 99 rupees at the beginning of the game, at least, then it doesn't seem worth it. Deku nuts and Deku sticks are nice items you can buy, but you'll be able to find them quite easily later, and by later I mean in a little bit. Arrows, won't use them for a long time. Deku seeds, they're useless now, but they'll be kind of handy if you're running low on them. All of this stuff I'll explain a bit later, but you need the Deku shield in order to progress. So you got the Deku shield. There are 3 shields in the game. There's 3 everythings in the game. Now, to use the shield, you hold R, and you can do, and if you're Z targeting, so I'll equip the shield. If you're Z targeting, okay, so here's the shield. You can hold R, and you can use a stick to look around with it, kind of, but it basically reflects in directions. However, if you're Z targeting, and not walk away from your target, you can kind of walk around the target. And the combat system is actually really good. Like, Ocarina of Time just really said, this is what you can do with 3D, and
If you want to see the great Deku I forgot his accent. You should at least equip a sword and shield. Hey, what's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief! Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the great Deku tree, huh?
and then he like walks away. He's like, oh, stuff that. Anyway, so this part's about to end, but I should go to the next cutscene. Also, here's a nice enemy. I should probably actually look at each enemy, by the way. This is a Deku Barber. Though it looks withered, it will... Yeah, so the Deku Barber will hurt, but if you do a horizontal slice, you can... It'll drop a Deku Stick. Now that's the item they were selling in the shop, and literally I just found one. Deku Sticks are kind of handy because they'll deal more damage than a sword, but they will break after a bit. if you try hitting someone with it. You'll also need Deku sticks for quite a few puzzles, and you can only hold 10 of them, so it's not too great to waste them. Preferably, you don't really need to, because a lot of these enemies are pretty weak anyway. But alas, I'll explain it all next part. Not doing any voices for Navi. Navi is the silent protagonist.
Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. Be now, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, Bigotry, am about to tell you. Thy slumber these past months must have been restless and full of nightmares, as servants of evil gain strength. A vile climate made select causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Be it now. The time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? And enter the brave and thou too, Navi. Navi for fear. Thou must aid be now. Navi speaks. You see all the well to words of wisdom.
Kind of reminds me of A Link to the Past. It's like, hold B to use the sacred sword technique. By the way, I've taken damage already. Anyway, I'll see you next time when we enter Mr. Tall Trunk. I wish every tree had a mustache.